So I've been having a problem with the queries that have been seen online for being too complicated or too expensive. So I made an alternative myself. I'm going to share it with you today. So you're going to place the query, then you're going to print it using a schematic cannon. But you have to make sure that this redstone comparator is facing south. If I press F3, this is south, as you can see, and this is east. This has to be east, or else this will not work. All you're going to need to do for this to work is just to click this windmill bearing. Then it's just gonna work by itself. So it hit bedrock and then it's gonna return. It's gonna deposit all of its items through here. Yep. And then it's gonna go over one. In the description, I'll have three models. This one, and a 3x16 one, and a 3x16 one with no up drills. Because if you're starting out, you won't have enough resources to get all of these drills. Yep. Then shift it over. It's going to keep working. And if you want to take your items out, all you're going to need to do is just flick this lever once. It's going to return. And instead of it shifting 8 blocks to the right, you're going to go to this sequenced gear shift and just make it reverse. And if it goes down again, just flick the lever again. It's going to come back and return, right? And then you're going to stop this. And you're going to have all of your items down here. And if you want to take your items out, you can put it on your card assembler, like this, put it on lever, and then take it out. Now you're gonna have your items in the minecart contraption and you can transport them. Also, you could expand this if you want to, just don't forget to glue it together and you could shorten it. And don't forget to change the sequenced gear shift to however long you want it. So it's 16 by 16, you're gonna change the sequence gear shift to say 16 blocks forward. Now this is pretty much all you're gonna need to know to make this work, but I'll explain it for the people who want the technical details because that's what I wanted when I searched for this, and I didn't find anyone who could explain it. So I'm gonna explain it for people who are interested. Now this might look a little bit complicated, but it's really not. I'm gonna explain it using this model because it's just way simpler. So first of all, the most important thing is this observer. It's just a normal observer, not a create add-on or anything. This observer will detect when this whole contraption becomes a solid block, which only happens when it touches bedrock or returns back. So, you know when it like flickers for a second? It's gonna flicker now when it returns. So that now it's a solid block, not an entity anymore. So this detects that. After it detects it, so it's like, oh, I've reached bedrock. Let me send this to this sequenced gear shift. And this sequenced gear shift is really interesting because after it activates, it awaits a new redstone pulse. So before it moves the piston, it actually waits twice. It requires two redstone pulses. So the first one is when it goes down. So it's like, oh, I've reached bedrock. So it sends the first redstone pulse. So this gear shift activates. And then when it comes back, it activates this line, await new redstone pulse. So it moves the piston 3 blocks forward. This is going to make sense when I explain the rest of these things. So when it receives the signal, we have here a redstone comparator. And the redstone comparator turns this sequence into redstone signals. So if it's in the first step, it's going to tell us, oh, let me just flicker this once. It has a power of 1. And then when it goes to the second step, it has a power of 2, 3, and 4, which is really powerful. So the reason I keep flickering this when I need it to return back up is because, oh, it's convinced that it already reached bedrock. So the question now is, what happens when it sends this redstone signal? On this entire build, we only have 2 redstone links, one with the observer and one with the sequenced gear shift. So when the sequenced gear shift takes a signal, it activates this redstone comparator. So as long as this is activated, it's telling us, oh, we're sending a signal right over here. This moves and this moves as well. If they move at the same time, this thing is going to break. We don't want them to move at the same time. So these two have to communicate in some way. Let's go through each of these components just one by one slowly. So since this comparator takes from 1 to 4, we have 3 redstone receivers. This one connected to the clutch, this one connected to a gear shift, and this one connected to this shaft right here. So the first thing it does is when this observer reaches bedrock, it's going to send the first signal, right? So this activates, so it's only on the first step. So it sends the redstone signal of 1, send this to this redstone link, and connects it to the gear shift. So the gear shift is like, oh, now I'm activating. I'm going to return to my original position. I'm going to turn this back. I'm going to return to the top. But what about these two? These two are still not activated since this is just a redstone strength of 1. Only this redstone wire is activated. Only this redstone wire is activated. We still need 1 or 2 more to activate the actual component, whether it's this redstone repeater or this clutch itself. Now it goes to the second step where it waits. Now when it sends the new redstone pulse, now we know that we reached the top. So we need to put this clutch on so that this shaft will release, and we need to turn this off so that it's not redstone powered, because if it is redstone powered, this gantry shaft will move up and down, not left and right. So these two activate, this clutch releases the shaft, and this redstone link disables the redstone power going into this gantry shaft, and then it goes to the new sequence of moving the piston 3 blocks forward or backward, right? These two are still activated until this goes over 3 blocks, and now it's done, right? It just waits and then it's done. So when it's done, it turns off, and when it turns off, these 3 aren't turned off, which means that this gantry shaft is redstone activated, so it's going to move up and down. This clutch is not activated, so the shaft will go through, and since the gear shift is not activated, so it goes in the clockwise direction. This sequence gear shift is not activated, so no redstone power is going through here. It only comes from this shaft because of the gearbox. Now as for the transportation system, it's nothing too complex. Now we have 2 portable storage interfaces with the offset of 1, because we want these to kiss before this turns into solid block while this is still in a contraption. So it's just an offset of 1. Right? So they kiss, we have 2 funnels getting out. One with the filter of just extra blocks that we don't need. You can edit them if you want to. Here we have just some buckets of lava, supposedly, that will dump out all of the things that you don't need. So yeah, this is expandable as much as you like. You can expand them like this way. You can expand more drills, more barrels. You can do whatever you want with it. I hope this clears things out, and thank you for watching. See you next video, and cheers.